In this video, I am interviewing Jane Mann, and she is known as, well, was known as the best kept secret in Vegas. She is a licensed esthetician out there. She has done the deep dive into her facial contouring massage, which is a trademarked massage technique that she developed to help release fascia in the face. That's fantastic all on its own. She just is a pioneer in our field, and I think you're going to enjoy listening to her take on how our bite, posture, and diet really affects the way our skin and face looks. Enjoy. So welcome, Jane. We've got a few questions for you. You're a rock star esthetician in Las Vegas, and you're a mentor for facial contouring massage. Would you share how you discovered facial contouring massage and how you developed it?
Yeah. Well, golly, I feel like you and I got into microcurrent similar times, right? And I just had a different background coming into microcurrent. I had done quite a bit of marketing, but even in growing up and through college, and then after college, I was certified in yoga. I mean, obviously aerobics, because we were all like in our aerobic, and Pilates. And in Pilates, we were taught to look at the skeletal and the body, the way it draped. So I guess looking back now, that is one of my key influences in doing what I do. I have always looked at the body and then the face, because everything is aligned. And I would do microcurrent, and I spoke for microcurrent companies, and I would be on stage sometimes, and I would have to present these results, and then I couldn't even see the results. And it became almost like the emperor's new clothes. Like, don't you see it? Look, it's here. And I knew there was another way, because I know microcurrent works. And I love what you have done for the industry, and I have loved every single person that comes to see me that watches you has the microcurrent mini. And that is so awesome, because I am a huge believer that you need a microcurrent unit at home. I'm a huge believer that what I do in the treatment room is very important, but 80% is done at home. And I love that you have done that. So in doing microcurrent, I would look at somebody and I would think, this makes absolutely no sense. Why are we over tightening a muscle that has programmed itself short due to a cervical vertebrae or whiplash or lifestyle issues? This doesn't make sense. And I feel it's not being disrespectful to manufacturers, because everybody has to have a set of rules and regulations, when you sell a unit. But at the same time, there's always going to be a little bit of a fluctuation within that rule. And so I started to massage the muscles. And if you really just looked at the science of microcurrent and the benefit of the current to the muscle, it didn't really make sense that we just had to shorten it. I think that gives you an instant result, but it wasn't the long-term effect that we were looking for in the clinic.
So tell us about what happens when people get plastic surgery and they get the cutting of the fascia. And tell us some of the things that you've seen.
I think plastic surgery is amazing. I mean, who doesn't want to look 30 years younger like that? But there is a responsibility in doing that. When clients are sent to me after a facelift, the first thing that we do is the fascial contouring, but in such a way that it is lymphatic. Because when you get a facelift, there are certain times they will create scar tissue because they want the face to heal a certain way. If it's a deep facelift, they may completely lift up in here, and there may be a certain amount of scar tissue they want to form to hold that tissue up. So they sometimes suture, the malar fat pad up and do different things. And that's why you look amazing for a certain amount of time. I am a big believer in the hidden three, and I'm very boisterous about it: posture, bite, and flexibility. You can't have one without the other. Mm-hmm. You have to know that your bite is proper, and 87% of Americans have a bite that they've either ground down or it's imbalanced.
Yeah.
So this imbalance, again, the body has to compensate because it's going to do everything to protect you. And so everything will kind of shift. And then we see sometimes a real asymmetry in the face that we're looking at. And you'll start to notice kind of a hint is one trap will be higher than the other. The face actually is like a smaller portion, and the other side that where the teeth meet first has the stability and kind of is the structure of the face. And as this side slowly collapses, they start to see the jowls falling. And then the next thing you know, they're rushing to a plastic surgeon. And I say it's like correcting on an incorrect foundation. So now we've got the posture that is compensated for the kind of instability. And next goes flexibility. Because when the posture goes, discomfort and pain set in. And when discomfort and pain set in, people aren't as willing to go and do exercise because they want to compensate and work with the body to dance around the pain.
But the Anma you created to help with this bite issue and to help with some of the posture and flexibility, the microcirculation. Can you show us how to release the jaw with the Anma?
Yeah.
Oh, it's
So
a green one.
this is always fun. And I know you have been so patient with me as I have molded through the various, but you've got your fingers here. And I call these the thumbs. I call this kind of the arch of the back.
Huh.
And I call this kind of the arch of the neck. And I'll explain why. And then you have the spine. Every single piece does something. So we know that the fingers go really great on just the basic tissue. And the basic tissue is when you touch the skin, it moves so freely on top of the muscle. So we're not moving muscle. We're moving kind of that superficial fascia, just kind of right on there. And that's the way that you're doing here. We're not even going deep. We're just moving that tissue on top. The fascia starts from the top of the skin, the stratum corneum, all the way down, interweaving even through the cells. So that's what's
wow, yeah. Oh yeah, I've seen that. Almost like the marbling of fat, right? It's almost
Yep. But it goes through the cells.
It's like a 3D spider web almost. That's the way I like to think of it.
It's like a hexagon of
Yeah.
sorts. So even just
on the spider web.
gently on here, it's making a difference.
Another thing that you have been working with this year, I'm going to let you talk about it a little bit, but we will be having another interview dedicated solely to this. But tell us a little bit about it.
Well, it is, you've probably sat, in the classes where I'd say, I'm going to create a beauty bite, because I think that we've always been so focused on what we want to see as a result, we don't go back to root cause. And again, if you look at the body, the teeth height balances on the C1. And as your teeth start to wear down, which a majority of people as they get older, it just does, now your head is going to come forward a little bit, because all of a sudden the distribution of the weight of the head just comes forward. And this starts to create an aging cascade physically with the body. There is a really unique, simple appliance that can be fit in the mouth by the client at home and monitored either through you and through you kind of your groups, or it can be monitored through the company, that will restore the engagement of the masseter muscles. And it does this through an element of stretch. And I don't know, do you stretch? Do you do yoga or anything like that?
Once in a while.
Once in a while?
I do it a little bit each day, but I don't sit down for a purposeful hour. I should.
Something. Well, stretch is always good because it creates tension on the bone. And that's why they say as we get older, we need to either do some kind of weightlifting to create muscle tension on a bone, or stretch to create a muscle tension on the bone. And what this does is it releases an osteocyte, which is a bone cell. And this is how we can eliminate osteoporosis and various conditions that you get when you're older. The same thing happens in the face. Your mandible can remodel or reabsorb bone. It's contingent upon the stress placed on it with the muscle. And so if we create a stretch in the muscle, and a great practice is just opening your mouth with your lips closed.
Mm-hmm.
You're
Yeah.
creating a real gentle stretch. And this appliance helps kind of guide this process. And it seems silly because I do have clients that will say, well, can I just do this? Yeah, you can do it.
Well, yeah.
I have to have a little reminder in there not to shut my mouth. But over time, just as I was talking before, the muscles are either going to program themselves short, long, or indifferent. It's all in the fascia, it relates to the central nervous system, and then the body adapts it as its new norm. So what we're doing is we are kind of reprogramming the muscles to go to its natural anatomical state. And when this happens, it's like a natural Botox. And this orthotic can last for as long as you take care of it.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited. I do believe it's a game changer. I personally have used it since July, and I feel like my skin.
Your skin looks good.
I
hope you learned a lot in this video. Stay tuned for more fun videos from other industry greats. Those will be coming in the next couple months. Thanks for watching. Bye now.